Well, last season we played bad. We play poor than today. Today, I think we did everything to win the game, and the guys respond perfectly. So that is the truth. So I think we play in a good level, in all terms, in defending and set pieces and everything. So we move good the ball. We found the spaces outside, especially with Benja, and inside with the players inside, and we arrived in front of the goal many times. Unfortunately, we could not score.
Well, I thought that first goal was a little bit fortunate. And the one thing, look, against Man City, you need to defend well, and of course you need your goalkeeper to make a few saves for you, which he did. And of course, when De Bruyne hits that one in, a wonder goal, you think with 8 minutes to go, that's typical, you know, because that little bit of quality what they've got, which certainly De Bruyne has got. But thankfully we still had something to get back at them, and that was the biggest thing for me. Was twice we've been behind against Man City and come back, which bodes well. I don't know about that. I do know that's his second goal in 3 games, and very quietly over the last few weeks I've been very pleased with Jonjo, and he's responded to what we want to do, and of course we all know that in his locker he's got that ability. Whose was the better one, his or De Bruyne? I'll let you decide.
I'm pleased with the victory, with the points, with the flair, with the quality, with the goals, with the quality of the goals, with some dynamics that we trained, with some, even defensively, with some principles that we are working. I'm happy with many things. I'm happy with the effort. But of course, Premier League is Premier League, and games are never finished. And even in our best period, where I think everybody had the feeling that the result could go for 4, for 5, because it was 3-0, and we had so many opportunities then in transition to score more goals, that the result then is strange, is a bit strange. But that's okay. That's the difficulty of the Premier League, the emotion of the Premier League. I could say we concede 4 goals in 3 days at home, but I prefer to say we score 7 goals at home in 3 days, which is fantastic. When I arrived, we were 12 points behind the Champions League last position, and I told, I don't want to think about it. I just want to play matches. We were even, I think, 8 or 9 from an Europa League position. And again, I told, if we think too much about it, we are going to be depressed, because we want to play European football next season. So don't get depressed, just play game after game and see what is going to happen. Of course, now the distance is smaller. We won 2 matches. We are going into a period with lots of matches. You know, the Christmas period is match. So you have the chance of both. You have the chance to break down. You have the chance to put pressure on your opponents. Dele, I don't need to speak, because he's the best thing that can happen to a coach is when you don't need to speak about a player, because everybody speaks. All of you, fans, everybody speaks about him, and speaks about him for the right reasons. He's playing really well, and I couldn't ask anything more from him. Really amazing, scoring goals, assisting, working, fantastic.
For me, the most difficult thing during this week was not worried about the job or worried about what was happening in the future. I think I was worried to try to convince the player not to change. That was not the style, was not that we were doing all wrong. We were doing mistakes that in football 2 or 3 balls decide the result, and it's so difficult when you are playing 1 or 2 goals behind. Today I think that we were a consistent and a solid team during the whole game, but we didn't come here to try to draw. From the first minute of the game, we tried to continue doing what I think that this team must do, and in the way that I think that this team must play.
No, I don't think that. As you say, Tammy was enforced, and he's been going well. But at the same time, I have to think about the squad and think about the course of the season. And when we have a very taxing game where we give everything physically, arrive back late, I have to think about how fresh we can be for the game forward. And it also gives me a look at how we are generally, because we're not going to get through this season with the same 10 or 11 players. So those are the things for me to look at. I think the team we had out there for sure has got quality to go and win this game. The fact that we performed below par is the reason why we didn't. That will pan out itself over the course of the season, because it's the transfer ban has been well spoken about, and that's something that is enforced upon us. But I still believe in the squad. But when you look at it today, of course we made some changes and we didn't perform as well as we wanted to. So yeah, that will be questions that are asked of us from the outside. It's questions that I will want to ask for myself on the inside. I do believe in the squad, and I think we've shown some great stuff this season. I've not had to sit here many times and say we were below par today. Hardly at all, even when we got what we want or what we didn't get what we want. But today was one of those days, so I don't think there's any time for harsh reactions and judgments across individuals or the team, as far as I see it. It's time for a look at a bit of character to see how our reaction is for Aston Villa.
Of course, life became more complicated with the red card, and the change we had to make. We brought on a frozen goalkeeper, pretty much. Everybody sitting here is probably not really warm yet, and then you imagine you go there in shorts and a really thin shirt and some gloves which are not made for keeping you warm, and then some people let the free kick happen like that. So then you look a little bit silly in that moment. That's what you have to accept. But we kept on fighting, and Adrian especially helped us a lot with two really, really good saves and crosses he catched and stuff like this. But with his cold feet, obviously he couldn't shoot the ball as far as he wanted. Yeah. So again, that kept it a bit interesting, but at the end, it's just it's only important that we won the game, and that's what we did. And so I'm really pleased about that. I'm very, very happy about the effort the boys put again in. I'm really happy and proud actually about the desire the boys showed. So it's just made the red card made it a really special win, to be honest.
No, of course I was proud and honoured to be allowed to stand there on the touchline and lead this great club. But if we look at the game, we started extremely well. I thought we dominated it totally and found pockets and plays and created chances. So I probably would expect us to take the lead and go for that. The problem I think everybody can see is that we had problems on transition when we had possession. So that's something is easy then for a coach, what we have to work on. And that's to lock and not get counted on in those ways. After that, extremely proud of the players that they come back twice from 1-0 down, especially when they get 2-1 just before half-time. Normally as a coach you say, oof, you get that, morale goes down and all that happens, but we came out fighting, got it done. Felt maybe end of the game, it became a bit too open for my liking. I saw my players getting tired, we played a lot. In the end, it was a draw. Of course, I was hoping Lucas would put it in the back of the net in the last second, but that's how it is. That's how I saw the game. For me, what I saw in the first 30 minutes and the belief and how they went and how we played, that's good. In my opinion, offensively, that was good. And one thing that, I don't know if you saw it, but when we went 1-0 down, it wasn't players that went shaking their head. They were actually going, come on guys, we can sort this out. And that shows for me the belief that they know they're good players, and we need to change this negative trend. But for us, it's with our run, it was a difficult game, and I think the players did really well.
Yeah, the penalty was probably the right decision, yes. But to replay it, I think it was strange. I think it was really strange because you will find something within the rules, because when you watch the scene back, Max Aaron's foot is outside the penalty box, a part of his upper body and perhaps his knee is inside the box, so you will find within the rules why it should be replayed. Arsenal's players were even quicker than him in the box. And my feeling is, even if he would have started 10 inches later, he would have cleared the ball, so it didn't affect at all the game. And in the beginning of the season, we were told, listen, when something happened like this, if you're always standing at the 6-yard box, yes, we will replay the penalty, but if it doesn't affect the game, so if you're not 2 or 3 yards within the penalty box, we won't do this. And this situation was replayed because part of my player was perhaps already within the box. Several players of Arsenal were already in the box, but it was replayed. And if I'm honest, the second penalty probably will also find then a situation that perhaps Lacazette's head was perhaps already over the line, and then you have to replay it again.
When the game looks to go to the draw, the 1-1, in one moment we lost one ball when you cannot lose against this type of teams. They scored the 2-1, but nothing to say about the commitment, the attitude, the ambition, my players, and they showed that on the pitch. It's a moment for us to show a reaction, and they did that. Nothing to say about. We have to be fair with them, and they did everything. Unfortunately, when we are in this type of moments with not top confidence, we make same mistakes like we made this afternoon, more in the second goal. Like I said to you, I'm not the right person. Many times I answer to you all. I'm not the right person to speak every time about that. I know what I'm doing. I know what is my job. And tomorrow will be a new day for me, another day for me to prepare the next training session, everything until the next match. I'm not the right person to answer to you every time about that situation.
We've made a very, very good start. I think the quality of the team, the energy in the team and the momentum in the team, we want to continue with that. And I know for you guys, you need to write stuff and you need to say things and speculate, but within it all, you've got to stay calm. And like I said, I'll see where we're at with 10 games to go, and then we'll probably then have a really good idea of where we can finish. But at this moment in time, it's about that consistency and showing the qualities that's needed. And then let's see where we are with 10 games to go. No, it does not annoy me. I don't think so much about it. It's something that's not in my control, really. I think I made a move to come to here 8.5, 9 months ago, whatever it is. So, and I came here to help the project and see if we can bring it forward. So I'm at a great club. I can work how I want to work. And like I said, I absolutely love it here. So it seems now you'll be talking about managers losing their job all the time and looking to be replaced. So it's just part and parcel of the game now. There's names will get thrown left, right and centre. With the Arsenal job, there's probably about 10 names. So, but for me, my focus is very much on Leicester City.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.